Greetings, welcome to Hexed Encountered. I'm Joe. In this video, we will be continuing our playthrough of B-17 Flying Fortress Leader from Dan Verssen Games, designed by Dean Brown. The first part of this playthrough was using the gameplay example that comes with the game in the playbook. This time we're going to just kind of pick up, and I didn't pick this up, speaking of picking up. We will be continuing the playthrough, or we'll be continuing where the playbook play example left off. We destroyed our primary target. It's gone. That was Aircraft Factory number 21. If you did not watch part one, I suggest you do so. It is a good lead into this one, and it's not all that long a video. Yeah, we're going to pick things up here with the attack on the secondary target, which is a transportation target, T-04. It is a marshalling yard. It is in Namur, Belgium, which is in Hex 13, which is right here. And as you can see, our UK base is here. I'm going to take this guy off as well, because this will be mission number 2. So 2 will go there. So we're going to be flying here and then here. So we're going to be flying through 2 areas that contain German squadrons, Luftwaffe squadrons. Our intelligence on this particular target is high, thanks to an event card. So we do have a +2 for our air-to-ground attack and a -2 flak. So this should be a relatively, I don't want to say easy, but an easier run than our original mission. Here is our target. You can see we can attack it with up to 4 bombers. We're using 2. The damage levels, we need 4 hits for light damage, 7 for medium, 10 for heavy, and 14 to destroy. And we do get an air-to-ground +1 on our bombing. So that, coupled with the high intel, will give us a +3, and then plus whatever we get from our bombers themselves. And looking at them, they're both -1s, so we're going to end up with a +2 there. Luftwaffe response is +0, so there will be no additional response from the Luftwaffe beyond what we roll for our commander. The flak is 8 for 1 hit, 10 for 2 on 1 roll. Their repair number is 7, and it is a dispersed target, which is something we'll have to account for when we select our munitions. So I've placed our 2 bomb groups, the 322nd, which is a B-26 group, and it is right here. So as you can see, it's got a tonnage of 4, so it can carry 4 weight points. Its range is 4, which is exactly what it needs for this particular mission. Let me put that pencil down. Formation rating is a 6. You can see it's 0 to 4 damage is okay, and it gets a -1 air to ground. Its air to air is 0. So in dealing with the fighters, there's going to be no die roll modifier. It is slow, so the bandits will of course go first. Then we have our second one is the 321st. This is a B-25 group. This is the big swing, and you can see again it is 0 to 6 is okay. This one gets a +2 on air-to-air, so that's nice, but a -1 on air-to-ground. Durability is 0. The B-26 has a durability of 1, which is a -1 modifier when we do our bandit die rolls. In this case, we get none. We don't get that for the B-25. Same tonnage, same range, same formation rating. So our mission path will take us here through this area with Antwerp and the Pas de Calais, and then into this area with Remagen in it, it looks like, here along the Rhine. And that's where we will be attacking our marshalling yard in Namur. We've laid that out. Now we need to choose our munitions. Now, because this is a dispersed target, there is a bomb that can give us a nice DRM on that, and that is the M30. And as you can see in the upper left corner, the 0 is the SO cost. So this one is actually free. It does take 2 weight points, so we can put 2 of these on each of our 2 bombers, which is what we will do. We will take 4 of these, 2 for each of our bombers, and hope that we can roll well enough to get to do at least light damage, or maybe even, if we're lucky, medium damage to the target. We're not planning on destroying it, but we do hopefully at least damage it so that we can come back and finish it off later. So the next step after that is to roll for the Luftwaffe response. So we'll do that. So I'll put my dice tower here. I'll roll the die. We get a 3. Now a 3 on our Commander Schmidt card here, who is our German commander. You can see 2-3 is average, so a max of 4 bandits, and nobody's going to leave their hex for this one, so that's good. From our standpoint, that is good. So we'll only be facing 1 squadron here and 1 squadron there. 1 bandit in each location, so that is a little bit easier to deal with. So what we'll do is we will advance our... Oh, we have to draw our event card. Sorry, forgot about that. Combined bomber operations. Add +3 damage points to the target. That's awesome. So we're going to put 3 damage points on the target. So this would be a damage point counter. Put that on the target, so we know we've already done 3, thanks to the good old fellows in the RAF. Thank you, boys. And now we move on to actually moving our... So this would be our first turn, so now we have to draw a bandit. Here's our bandit cup. I reach in, I'll pull a counter out. It is no bandit. Hey, all right, I'll take that every time. So we put that back, and then they would move on to the next hex, which is this one right here. And now we're over the target. So we're drawing another bandit. And this time we get an 88. So we place our bandit here. Now we will roll to determine which bomb group it attacks. It can attack the lead group on a 1 to 6 and the 321st, the second group, on a 7 to 10. Let me bring my dice tower in again. And we get a 5. So 5 means he is attacking this guy right here. Now, as far as adjustments here, technically this is flak, but I think that's just target flak. So I'm just going to roll this regular. So he needs a 6 for 1 hit, an 8 for 2, or a 10 for 3. And he gets a 2, which is no damage. So that worked out quite well. And so now we do our flak for the over the target. So again, we're going to get a -2, and according to the card, an 8 is 1 hit, a 10 is 2 hits. They only get 1 roll. So basically they have to roll a 10 for 1 hit because of the -2 DRM. And they get a 7, so they just end up missing. And we get no hits. And now we'll roll for the bomb run for here, and then we'll roll flak against the second group. Okay, so our M30 here, as you can see, 8 is 1 hit, 10 is 2. We have 2 of them, so we'll roll twice. And we do get a +2 air to ground, plus another one from the target itself, -1 for the group. So we end up with a +2 DRM. So essentially we need to roll a 6 for 1 hit and an 8 for 2. So we'll roll, and we get a 6. That is 1 hit. So this becomes a 4. And now we'll roll our flak attack against the 322nd, or 321st rather, which is our second group. So we'll roll again. And this time they get an 8, which is, -2 becomes a 6. So that is actually not a hit either. Now we'll roll, I only rolled one bomb. I have to roll my second bomb for the 322nd. Sorry about that. A 3 on the second one, +2 is a 5. That is no damage. So it's still only 1 hit. Now we'll roll for the 321st. And we get a 9. A 9 +2 is 11. That's 2 hits. So this now becomes 6. I'll just do it after I roll the second die. And we get a second 9. So that ends up being 4 more hits, which is 8 total. So that's 8 total. And that's going to become medium damage here as we leave. So we now move... and we have to turn these over. So they start at 3 like that. And so basically they're not going to be able to attack us. So I'm going to replace this with a medium. And they'll start to move back. We'll draw our event card. Commander killed, check. So this could be bad. After the mission for each group, we don't have any commanders, so this actually won't matter. But if we did have, say, Alkire or Raper with us, we would have to roll in on a 9 or a 10. The commander would be killed. We don't have to worry about that because we don't have any commanders. So now we would just simply move these guys back. Now, these guys are rearming, so they can't attack again, and they make it back safely. These will get returned back that way. We'll do that and pull those off. Pull these off. This goes back up here to the top. Its counters stay with it, so it will still be under heavy or high rather intel. and it is medium damage. Okay, so we return our 2 bomb groups, get a 1 experience point each, and that's going to actually end the week. So we'll perform our target repair rolls, add replenishment to any rested groups, which we did not have, and then we will do our advanced week marker. Now, the target repair phase only applies to targets that were not attacked this turn, and we only have 1 target that we did anything with, and everything else we haven't touched yet. We destroyed our primary target, so we don't have to worry about that. But we do have a secondary target that we just damaged this week. This was the first week, of course, so there will be no roll to determine if there's any repairs there. We do not have to do replenishment for rested groups because we did not have any rested groups. So we are simply going to advance our week marker to 2. And let me remove this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do for the week is we will receive our weekly SO points, which is 25. Based on the results and what we used in the previous week, we have 43 SO points. I am going to use that to purchase a new bomber here, and I actually have it out. These were the choices that I was going through, but we're going to take the Grim Reaper here, which is the 305th bomb group. This costs us 12 SO points, as you can see right there. It is available from 42 on. We'll actually get the green version, so this is the one we'll get. We get Commander LeMay for free, so it's free Commander. Some of them will have a YB40 upgrade, some will have the Chin turret, and there are some other ones as well. So we're going to take the Grim Reaper, which costs us 12, leaving us with 31. Here's LeMay. He has the Suppress tactic, and he adds a Formation +2 modifier. So the Suppress tactic will allow us to remove 2 from a bandit's die roll in 1 turn of combat. So that is expressed by this tactics counter right here. So we'll see this when I use it. And you can only use it in each combat once. So that's still useful. Now, as far as the Grim Reaper itself, I kind of showed this already, but it's got a +0 A to G, +2 air to air. It's okay, or on a 0 to 6 damage. It's green with a 5 for a promotion. 7+ formation with LeMay, that'll become a 9+. Range is 6. Durability is 1. Tonnage is 6. So standard B-17 essentially. So that is all I'm going to do there for that. So now we will move on to doing our recon mission. So we can roll our recon mission. So this is our recon asset. I didn't really go into this before our last turn. We spent 8 SOs to buy it. It will be destroyed on a roll of a 1. If it rolls at 8 or higher, it gets high intel. You get a +2 modifier if you're already at medium. So if we're at medium, then we would really only need a 6 or higher. 4 to 7 will give us medium. Anything under 4 gives us low intel. So we will be choosing to run that against this target right here, because this is going to be our primary target. This is an airfield at Paris. It is Hex 9, Range 2. We will be we'll determine the bombers that'll do the mission here in a little bit. You can see it's 4, 7, 10, 14 to destroy. So we need 14 to destroy, but we do get an air to ground +2. It is repair 7. It is also dispersed, and it's got some decently heavy flak on it. So it's Hex 9, which is right here, and you can see Paris right there on the map. So in theory, we could just go 1, 2 and get to it pretty easily. So that's going to be our primary target, which I'm doing this a little bit out of order because you select targets after you run your recon mission, but I'm gonna just do it this way. So basically, if we can roll an 8 or higher, we'll get high. If we roll a 4 or higher, we get medium. And we rolled a 3. So it stays low. So with low intel, you get 1 extra flak die. So we're going to put this on here. Now for our secondary target, we're going to revisit our friends in Belgium here and see if we can knock this sucker out. Because it's already high intel and it's already damaged, and that will allow me to use my medium bombers, the B-25 and the B-26, to try and take that out. So they will be revisiting that one, which allows us to send 4 after the primary target, or if we choose to, we could send fewer. So we'll assign our groups. I am going to have the Grim Reaper be our lead group. So we'll put the 305th in the lead slot. We'll follow that up with the 379th with Misbehavin'. Then we'll have the Memphis Belle and the 91st. And in the back, 389th and Hitler's Hearse, which means that when we roll, 1 to 3 will be the lead group, 4 to 6, second group, 7 to 8, third group, 9, 10, fourth group, as far as determining who the bandits or the flak guns, if we pull an 88, which targets they attack. We will, of course, also bring along our fighter group. So we'll put it there. So for Hitler's Hearse, our B-24, we'll purchase 2 M34 bombs to get a little bit extra damage. That's going to cost us 6 SOs, meaning we've spent 18 this turn thus far. For the Memphis Belle, we are simply going to put 3 of the M30s for the dispersed target benefit there. This will be free, essentially. We're going to put 2 M44s on Misbehavin' because it gets a +2 air-to-ground. They get a +2 air-to-ground from their commander, Raper. So that will hopefully equal extra hits on our primary target here. So that brings us to 10 SOs spent for the bombs and 22 total for this turn. And then for the Grim Reaper, we'll use 1 M34 with a 4 weight point and 1 of the M30s. So the M34 costs us 3 more. So that's 13 plus 12 is 25, which was our weekly total, actually. So we spend 25, leaving us with 18 to carry forward. I'm not planning on spending anything on our secondary target. We'll go with the dispersed bombs again and hope for the best. Now we also have the ability, based on our special rules here, for 2 targets of your choice prior to executing a mission, you can roll a 1d10 and apply that amount of damage to the target. This simulates previous damage done by the RAF. So I have not done that yet, and I'm going to save that, I think, for later. Maybe 1 target in week 3 and 1 target in week 4. All right, so let's do our mission path. So we'll do 1, and then the target is here, and I screwed this up on our previous mission where I put the 2 there. It's not a massive deal, but that's our target indicator. Put our unit on the UK base. Now we have to roll for the Luftwaffe response using Commander Schmidt up here. It's a 1, which is poor. So our max is 2, and we don't have any range. So we're not going to have any Luftwaffe response except over the target itself. So let's pull our event card. Oh, nice. Untrained Luftwaffe pilots, all bandits attack with a -2 ATA modifier. So their air-to-air attack will take a -2 DRM. So looking good right now. We'll move here. We have nothing to resolve. We not, yeah, no attacks or anything. So we move here. Now we'll check to see what our bandit counter is. We get a BF 109. Here, as you can see, it's got the B, which is bomber, or bombs, I think, tactic. And as you can see on Commander Schmidt's card, he does have that tactic right there. So they will be able to use that one. So let's put him here. So in this case, I'm going to put this out so I remember this. Now, because of the bomb tactic, they get to drop a bomb. So basically that means they fly overhead, they drop a bomb on the formation from above, and they hit on an 8. So we're going to roll here and see what we get. And they get a 1, so they did not hit. So now they have to take on the escort first. I'm going to flip this to 1. And because they are fast and the escort is slow, they get to go first. Now we do have a -2 on the die roll here. They need a 7, 9, 11. So it's going to be impossible for them to actually hit The Thunderbolt does have a durability of 1, so let's take a look at this group. So it did take 2 hits on the previous week's combat, and it's not resting, so it still has those 2 hits. But you can see its durability is 1, so that'll be another -1 on the die roll. So they get a -3 on their die roll, which means they can't get anything other than a single hit, because they can't get a 9 and they can't get an 11. So we're going to roll, and they get a 7, and a 7 minus 4 is, or -3 rather, is 4, which is not a hit. So now our boys will get to attack. They have a ATA rating of +3, and they need a 10, of course, to destroy. The Germans' defense is a 0, so we need a 7, basically. And we got a 7. So we got a 7. So our bandit has been destroyed, so we advance our bandit destroyed by 1. That's going to give an additional experience point to the 78th Fighter Group for destroying an enemy squadron. That goes back in the cup. Our bomb group is here. Now the fighters would return to base because they're at the extent of their range. This was a nice one because they could escort all the way to the target with their range of 4. Now we're going to go back and we're going to roll for our flak attacks here on the target. They do get +1 flak die, which means they get 2 rolls. The card gives them 1. Low intel will give them a 2nd. So the first one they will attack will be the May, our lead group. Let me put this back because they went home. It's obviously done. They roll a 7 on the first attack. And on the second attack, they get a 1. So we know the 1 won't do anything. The 7 is going to get adjusted. For LeMay, it would get, he doesn't have any adjustment for that. So the 7 is going to be 1 hit. So they do 1 damage to the Grim Reaper. So we put this 1 damage marker on here. Now the Grim Reaper will get to bomb. So they have an M34 and an M30. The M34 will roll first. It's 1 hit on a 3, 2 on a 5, 3 on a 7, or better, of course. And a 9 or better gets 4 hits. So we're hoping for a big number here. We do get a +2 from the target, and nothing from the bomber itself, which is a +0. So we will roll here. And we got a 2. So a 2 + 2 is 4. That is 1 hit. So that stinks, but we'll put 1 hit on here. Now we'll roll our M30, which needs an 8 for 1 hit, a 10 for 2. It is dispersed, so it gets a +2 from that, and it gets a +2 from the air-to-ground rating of the target. So we're going to get a +4. So we need a 4 for 1 hit and a 6 for 2 hits. Oh, good Lord, we got a 1. Okay, so that was terrible rolling for the Grim Reaper. We move on to the Misbehavin', which has 2 M44s. And these need a 4, 6, 8. Now they get a +1 from their bomber group. They get a +2 from their commander. And they get a +2 from the air-to-ground rating. So they're guaranteed to get at least 1 hit, because it's a +2, +2, and +1 is a +5. And they only need a 4 to get a hit. So we're going to give a +5 die roll modifier here. Oh, wait a minute. I have to roll the flak attack. Well, that was a 3. We'll use that for our first flak attack, which would be a miss. Our second flak attack is an 8, and that would be 1 hit as well. So now the Misbehavin' is up to 4 damage points. They are 0 to 5 to stay in the OK. So they can only take 1 more, but luckily that'll be the last mission for this week, and maybe we rest them next week to avoid the possibility of them becoming shaken. Now we'll roll for their attacks with a +5. So they rolled a 9. A 9 will be 2 hits, or 3 hits rather, from the first bomb, and the second bomb gives them a 4, +5 is 9, which would also be 3 hits. So they got 6 hits on the target, moving it up to a 7. And now we move on to the Memphis Belle, which has 3 M30s. So of course the M30s, again, hit on a 8 for 1 hit, 10 for 2 hits. They get a -1 from their group and a +2 from the target, so they get a net result of +1. But let's roll our flak attacks first. A 5 is nothing. And a 7 is 1 hit. So they get an increase on them to a 3 damage, rather. Or -3, if you want to look at it that way. And now we'll roll our attacks. So they have 3 M30s. We need a 7 for 1 hit or a 9 for 2. So that's 1 hit for the first bomb. That is a miss. And that is a miss. So they get 1 hit, which will increase this to 8. And so they're at medium damage right now. And we have 1 bomber left to attack. It is the Hitler's Hearse, the B-17. It gets a +1 from its group, with the +2 from the target will be a +3. It does get a -1 on the flak defense from Alkire, the commander. So they'll need to have a 7 for 1 hit, a 10 for 2 hits, and won't be able to inflict 3 hits. So we will roll our 2 flak attacks. So a 9 -1 is an 8. So that would be 1 hit. And the second roll is a 3, which is nothing. So they go from 1 damage to 2, and now they get to roll their bomb attacks with a +3. Now they have M34s, so 1 hit is a 3, so they're guaranteed 1 hit. It's 3, 5, 7, 9. So we're hoping for big numbers to get 4 hits. We're 6 away from destroying this target. And we have 2 bombs to roll. Shoot, come on. So a 9 on the first roll gets modified to 2 hits. No, wait. A 9 plus 3 is 12. Yeah, that's 4 hits. So they're up to 12 right now. And now we'll roll for the second bomb and get a 7 plus 3 is 10. That is also 4 hits. That destroys the target. So this target has been destroyed. We can remove that. This target's been destroyed. Okay, so here's our target that we just destroyed. It's got 4 supply points and 4 victory points. The supply points are here. So we remove this. And also, we would advance the remove Luftwaffe counter. So we're going to remove this for this target. Actually, I guess it goes here, and then it goes to back to 0, I guess. I don't think it like goes up again. I don't think. I think that's all it does. Okay, so we're going to move our units back. They don't have any defense to worry about. We do need to draw our event card, and we get another commander killed check. So this time we do have 3 commanders, so I have to roll 3 times. We'll start with LeMay, and we get a 4, so he's okay. Now we'll do Raper, and he's okay. And now we'll do Alkire, and he is also okay. So that made me a little nervous with 3 potential guys to be killed there. So we'll remove these and this, and we'll get ready for our second mission. But we can draw a new airfield target, so we will. And we get one in Germany. So this is Lingen, which is in Hex 12, which is right here. And it can only take 3 bombers, but it only needs an 11 to destroy it. And it is an air-to-ground 1. It is also a dispersed. It gets 2 rolls of flak with 3 levels of potential damage. So this is a bit of a tougher target in some ways. I'm just going to stick it up there as target number 1. And that completes that mission. So we would now set up for our second mission. Now the groups that participated will all get 2 experience points. And that's actually going to be enough to promote 2 of the units. It looks like the 78th Fighter Group will get promoted, as well as the 91st Bomb Group. But we'll do that at the end of the week. Actually, let me correct that. In the sequence of play and mission debriefing, it says determine final target status. We did destroy it, record our XPs and VPs, so we did that. Record group status, perform promotions. And then it would say, it also says aircraft factory, which was not the target this time. Airbase target, bandit destroyed, counter updates. Okay. Now it's said to actually do, I think it was 4 because of the victory points, which would have been 1 and then 1, 2, 3. That seems like a lot, so I kind of wasn't going to do it that way. Because I think when you get here, it just says reset to 0. So we got there, we reset to 0, and we're good. We did take the 4 supply points off as well. So I'm going to call that good. So as I mentioned here on my log, you can see the 78th Fighter Group, green, needs 6, which we now have to promote to average. And then the 379th under Raper, that needs 6. That's the wrong one. It's the 91st, which is the Memphis Belles Group. It's green, it needs 5, it's got 5, so it's going to get promoted. So we're promoting 2 of our groups. So here is the 78th Fighter Group. It is now average and will need 6 to promote to the next level. It's 0 to 5, okay, still slow, plus 4 air-to-air. That's an awesome modifier. And here's the Memphis Belle, the 91st, upgraded to an average with a 4 needed to promote. And it is now 0 to 7, okay, it's still slow. Plus 2 air-to-air, plus 0 air-to-ground. Durability, all this other stuff kind of stays the same. But promotions are promotions, and they're typically useful. Okay, so now we'll go into planning our attack here on our secondary target. Okay, so the first thing we have to do here, or you don't have to do this first, but I'm going to take this medium counter and replace it with a number for damage points, and you replace it with the number that would give you this level of damage, which is medium, and that is 7. I'm going to put a 7 on here. Now again, we do have high intel on this target. This target is located in Hex 13, which is here, which means that we are going to have to go through 2 Luftwaffe squadrons to get to it. So depending on our roll for response, could be not too bad or terrible. We'll find out momentarily. So let me remove these guys because they've completed their mission. And we will be putting out the 320. We'll switch them around and let the 322nd lead this time, and the 321st will be our secondary. So the 322nd is the big, the flak bait, which is our B. Oh wait, let me swap that around. I want the 321st in the lead. The reason I do that is the 321st, in the off chance that because they have a slightly larger chance of being the one the bandits engage first, it has a plus 2 air-to-air. While flak bait, our 322nd, is a plus 0. So I'd rather have the better air-to-air unit go first. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention with the Memphis Belle is if we look at that again here, you can see down here it says Commander Ray. And I forgot to do that. You get him for free. And so here's Ray. And he has the evasion tactic and plus 2 or minus 2 experience points level per level. So we will put him out as well. And I haven't used him yet, but the next time we use that group, we will use him as well. So we are going to attack this target. So the first thing we have to do is, of course, arm our bombers. We have 18 SO points. I'm going to actually just use the M30s again. These guys right here, in the hopes that we can actually get enough damage to destroy them this time. Now we'll set up for our mission. This is mission 2. Our first leg will be here, and our target is here. We will roll for Luftwaffe response, hopefully rolling low. And we get a 6, and a 6 is high. So that's potentially 5 bandits and a range of 1, which opens up, here at least, we're going to have 3. And then here, we'll have 2. Because these guys will have to rearm after attacking our bombers in this hex right here. Okay, so let's draw out target-bound event card. The Germans are adapting. Remove any tactic counters from 2 random groups. We don't have any. So that's a no effect. So we're going to move here. And we'll draw 1, 2, 3 bandits. First one is a Focke-Wulf. Second one is a BF-109. Both of these tactics are not ones that are our German commander has. And our third one, come on, is no bandit. So let's find out where they're going to attack. So 1 to 6 will be the lead. So we'll roll for our Focke-Wulf 190. He gets an 8, so he'll be attacking the second group. And our BF 109 gets a 10, so he will also be attacking the second group. The no bandit goes back in the cup. And now we'll roll for our attacks. So the bombers are both slow, so the bandits get to attack first. So our Focke-Wulf here. So if we look at our bandit counter here, I didn't really go over this in the first video. But obviously the numbers at the top are your attack values for hits. So 6 would be 1 hit, a 7 or 8, 2, 9 or 10, 3. The white box indicates when you're attacking in an adjacent hex. So that would be 1. And then the 2 here is the number of attacks, or number of turns rather. Sorry, it got out of focus there. And then the 1 is its defense rating. So that's a die roll modifier when the group or the fighter group, whatever, attacks this particular unit. So the first one I drew out was this unit. So this one would not be from the adjacent hex. This would be the one from this hex itself, this hex right here. These two are from the adjacent hex. So our BF 109 is this guy, and he gets 1 turn because he has to fly back to base. Now the durability of the 322nd, which is a B-26, is a 1, so they get a -1 on their die roll. So he's going to need a 7 for 1 hit, an 8 or 9 for 2, and a 10 for 3. And he does get 2 turns. So let's roll. And he gets a 4, which is no hit. Now our bomber will fight back. He's got a +2 air-to-air, which is why I put him... actually, no, he's got... This is the back unit, so he has a 0. So we need to roll a... actually, we can't get it. We need an 11, which we cannot get, so I'm not even going to roll for it. So he gets a second turn, but first we have to do the... Actually, does he get... Yeah, he gets a second turn. He does not. So he's going to roll his only attack here, and we have the same thing with the 1 durability. So he needs an 8 for 1 hit, a 9 or a 10 rather for 2, and he gets a 7. So he misses barely. So now he's going to go back in the cup because he's done, and we go to the second turn here. So now we get this guy attacking. Whoops. Oh, you know what? I could have destroyed that bandit. If I roll a 10, we rolled a 9. So close, but no cigar. So now second attack for this guy. 7 plus 1 is an 8. Or 7 minus 1 rather is a 6. So he gets 1 hit. So he gets 1 hit, which is this counter right here. So this will go on our 322nd flak bait. And now I know I can't hit him because of his 1 defense and needing a 10. So we're just going to put this back in the cup, and then take our squadrons here and put them all on 3 response. Move our group here. These would all go to 2 while they rearm. Now we have this one and this one. So we'll draw this guy first. And we get a no bandit. Now we'll draw this guy. And we get a BF 109, who has the front attack tactic, which Schmidt does not have, so he will not get that. We have to use his attacking from adjacent side, so he gets only 1 attack. So we'll put him here. This becomes 0 again. Let's roll to see who he attacks. It's a 4, so he'll be attacking the 321st. Now the 321st does not have any durability, but does have a +2 air-to-air when we attack him. So he needs a 7 for 1 hit, 8 or 9 for 2. And he gets a 6, so he gets no damage on his lone attack. He only gets 1. And now we're attacking him, and we need an 8, 9, or 10 to destroy him. And we got a 10. So when he gets shot down, we move our bandit destroyed or disrupted up by 1. And that ends that. And so now we'll do our bomb run. So the flak for this target is 8 or 10. 1 roll. They also get a -2 DRM. So we'll roll for the 321st first. Rolled a 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. That is 1 hit. So the 321st gets a hit as well. So now both groups have taken 1 damage. Now we'll roll for its bomb run. So it has the M30s, which need an 8 for 1 hit, a 10 for 2. It has a -1 DRM of its own, plus 2 for the high intel and 1 for air to ground is 3. So it ends up a +2. So they need a 6 for 1 hit and an 8 for 2 hits. So that's 1 hit for the first bomb. Second bomb gets a 9. That's 2 hits. So that is 3 damage, which makes this a 10. And it's now heavy damage, and we need 4 to destroy. So now we'll roll the flak against the 322nd. And a 4 is a miss. Now the 322nd gets, its air to ground is a -1, same as the big swing, so it's going to get a +2. So again, 6 for 1 hit, 8 for 2. So that's 2 hits. And 2 more hits. That's 4 hits. That destroys the target. So we got lucky there. But that is 14. This target has been destroyed. So we will definitely take that. All right, we'll flip these over to 3. We draw our homebound event. Smooth weather. All bomber groups automatically pass formation checks. I don't think we'll have to make any. So they will just go 1, 2 back to base. These go away. These all get flipped back. And that completes the mission. So both groups get 2 experience points for completing the mission successfully, giving them 3 total. Okay, so that completes the mission. We've assigned our experience points. Everything is done. We now move to our week 3. And we will start over again I will start over again as I continue to play. But for now, that is going to do it for this video, at least. And depending on the views, I mean, I got a lot of views for part 1, which was nice to see. We'll see how many views part 2 gets. If it is enough, I will do a part 3. Because I did not show the RAF. I mean, it's just a die roll, but I did not show the special rule for this particular campaign, where you roll a 1d10 and apply that amount of damage to the target. You can do that twice per month, I think. And this simulates previous damage done by the RAF. So that's going to do it for this one. Thank you as always for watching. Please consider liking, sharing, and or subscribing if you enjoyed the video. I hope you did. Even if you don't do that, I do hope you enjoyed the video. But that's going to do it for now. So if you have any comments, I will say that. If you have any comments, please feel free to post them. I'll reply as best I can. But as I said, that will do it for this installment. As always, thank you for watching. My name's Joe. This is Hexed Encountered, and until next time, happy gaming.